What's going on, YouTube? Today I have a very special video for you guys. We're diving into my updated settings today. I haven't updated my settings video in a while, and I've recently changed my vertical and horizontal sensitivity as well as my ADS sensitivity. So some pretty big changes. And with these changes, guys, I'm telling you right now, man, it's gonna have your shot very dialed in. My close range shot, arguably, I feel like has never been better. And it's just absolutely disgusting, man. These settings have me dropping at least 5 to 8 30s a day, a couple 40s, man, and 50s when I can get them. And these settings are just really nasty, man. I really feel like we have never been shooting straighter. So let's dive in and see what we changed. Okay, guys, to start off, I do use a controller. I use a PS5 controller scuff, and I used a raised right thumbstick with both of the analog sticks being domed. And I play on tactical flip, man. This just means that you're shooting with your top triggers instead of your bottom. Then obviously you're throwing your tactical and your lethal with your bottom triggers. This feels really good on PlayStation controllers. I don't recommend using this setting on Xbox controllers. I just do not think that would feel well at all. I just think the top bumpers on the PlayStation controllers are not clicky, and they're more kind of like a plastic kind of pushing button, so it just feels a lot better, in my opinion. And this is the big change, man. We changed to 2.25. I believe in our last things video we were at 2.6, so we have lower sensitivity a bit, man. It just has my shot feeling so clean in close range. Like I said, when you are facing other players that do, are matching your movements and they are sliding, getting in your face and getting in your camera, I think being on a lower sensitivity is definitely important to be able to track them as good as they're tracking you, because at the end of the day, I do play on higher sensitivity, and I'm not the best player in the world. And when I do face people on lower sensitivity close range, I'm like, okay, I feel like I probably should be hitting better shots. So this just has me feeling like I have my shot really dialed in close range. And again, guys, for any settings in a video, I'm going to go over, the ones that are important. For the other ones, you can just copy them, slow down the video if I'm moving too fast, whatnot, pause the video. But yes, this is how you flip your triggers. I don't play with controller vibration on. I think controller vibration, in my opinion, is a very terrible idea for any FPS game. All it's going to do is make your controller vibrate, potentially throw off your shot. I don't know any pro players that use this, so definitely turn this off. Trigger effect off. For dead zones, I changed this to 4. I believe we were on 6 before. You could use 4, you could use 6, you could use 2. The lower dead zone you go, the more annoying it is. Your stick drift will be more prevalent quicker. I already have dead zone on 4, so I might go back to a 6. I just wouldn't go past like 9. In my opinion, I wouldn't go past 9, but you can kind of do whatever you want. It's personal preference. And moving on to our ADS settings. For sensitivity multiplier, this is all default. For aiming advanced settings, we have this on instant. Some people play on gradual. I prefer instant, in my opinion. This kind of just changes your sensitivity kind of gradually or instantly when you aim into your ADS sensitivity. And we play on dynamic, which I think is the most consistent for aiming at range and close range. I just have this on 1. And then custom sensitivity for zoom, I have it on 0.75, and then I have 0.9 for the last 3. This is very important. At the end of the day, if your ADS sensitivity is not dialed in, your shot's not going to be good. People always come in my chat and say, yo, Cammy, how can I be good at the game? Like, what is the first thing to check? What I say is your ADS sensitivity. It doesn't matter how much hours you're putting on the game. If your ADS sensitivity is not a good sensitivity, it doesn't matter how good you are at that sensitivity, you're just going to be missing shots. You need to have your ADS sensitivity dialed in, and this is a perfect middle ground of not too slow but not too fast. So moving on to obviously aim assist, we got that on. All right, we got that on. And this is an advanced setting that I touch on in all my settings video. A lot of people think if you have this off, then none of these settings are in effect. So if you have these on but you have this off, none of them will take effect. That is not true, man. This is on by default, and I find personally, if having this off, aim assist is far stickier when I'm targeting people down. So I definitely would go in here, turn this off. And if you don't believe me that these settings do take effect, try it for yourself. Turn, what's the setting, bro? Turn this on, and then try to turn the game, and you'll see that it will be on, even though this is off. So just something that to keep in mind, that these settings do take an effect. And then for movement, we have tactical sprint assist on, have this on 0. So we go to that tac sprint right away. On, mantle assist off. Definitely do not want to be automatically mantling on things that I'm not trying to mantle on. Crouch assist off. Corner slice. Corner slice is when you kind of peek out like some Rainbow Six shit when you're like peeking corners. When you have this on, though, it will appear that you're peeking around a corner, but for somebody looking at you, you are fully just standing there. So it's just a visual thing. It doesn't actually look like that for other people. If it looked like that for other people, then it would be very effective because you're only you're kind of head glitching a wall. But you can't do, that's not how it looks for them. So just turn this off, completely pointless setting. And then we have this on hybrid. This allows me to dolphin dive instantly and also slide instantly. When you have the other settings on, the dolphin dives are not going to be as fluid. Hybrid is for sure the goated setting. Do not let anybody tell you different. It might take a while to get used to, but it definitely is the best. Airborne mantle off, on, off. You definitely want this off for sure. You don't want your parachute pulling when you're like freaking 20 feet up in the air. You want to pull that last second. Movement advanced settings, toggle, have this on toggle, off, on, single tap run. I find that the sliding is a little bit quicker, a little bit more fluid when I have this on. Could be tripping, but I would just throw it on. I have this on obviously, and then free. Vehicle advanced settings for anybody that cares about that. On a combat, just copy all these guys. I don't really think there's too much I need to touch on right here. Kind of personal preference. But yeah, just copy these settings. And then on to this. You definitely want this on. This is going to allow you to loot a lot quicker. And having this paired is nice. You can just hold down one trigger, and for the akimbos, it will shoot them equally at the same time. It's just nice so you don't have like, one ammo in the other and not the same ammo in the other. If you're just shooting them, touching both triggers. And overlay settings, and then on to our graphics settings. Just copy these guys. I'm not really going to dive into these. This is one of those things where you can slow the video down or pause it if you need it. I have this on these settings. Is there anything else I'm not diving into? Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything for you guys. Y'all are going to like freaking raid the damn comments with pitchforks if I missed something here. Rightfully so. And yeah, I have this on. It just makes the game look a little bit smoother, a little bit more sexy in my opinion. And then all these settings, man, are just to maximize the frames per second, but also giving us a game that doesn't look like 8-bit Minecraft or something. So give these things a try. There's a couple settings that you can turn down a little bit lower if you're trying to squeeze every frame out possible. But those are my graphic settings. So 120 FOV, man, with affected. This is super important. Every day I go live, people are in the TikTok chat hating, YouTube chat hating. You have no recoil. You're using a Cronus. I'm not using a Cronus. I have 120 FOV and I have affected. Go in firing range and put on 90 FOV and put on this on independent and shoot a gun, and then change it to 120 affected and do the same thing. This is the key to not having recoil. I feel like nobody talks about this, but it is definitely a fact. We have wide field of view on. Just going to make the gun a little bit smaller, which is going to, at the end of the day, give you more visibility. And I have this on default. I usually have this on wide, actually, so I'm just going to change it to wide. Not a big deal. We have motion blur off. You do not want motion blur on. It's going to destroy your visibility when you're turning. Definitely do not want that on. You want this off for sure. This is going to give you less visual recoil when you're getting shot at. And just copy these settings. And then onto our audio settings. This is going to be personal preference, so don't just copy these settings. That's personal preference. And then I do have enhanced mode on. I do have this on personalized. I do find it just helps a little bit with the footsteps. Same thing with Sucker Punch. Helps with the footsteps. And copy any of these settings. I don't think I have anything done in here. No, these are both default. And then moving on to, I guess, voice chat settings, if you guys care for that. And then onto our interface. I believe most of this is default. Obviously, I like having my FPS, my latency up on the screen. I don't think there's anything important in there. Is there anything important here? I don't think I have any filters on either. I just have a little bit of a saturation filter on the stream so the game doesn't look so dull to you guys watching. And then feel free to copy these if you would like. Don't think there's anything to click into in here other than maybe the crosshair if you're interested in that. And yeah, and on to the outro of the video. Yeah, guys, so those are my updated Warzone settings. If anything ever changes in the future, I will be sure to update you guys and make another YouTube video. I'm never keeping you guys in the dark. I don't want to gatekeep any settings, and I want you guys slaying out with the best of the best settings. So if you guys did find a setting within this video that helped you, man, make sure you drop a like and a sub. It really does help the channel grow, and I know I've been saying this a ton lately, but this is the craziest month we have had on YouTube, so shout out to everybody supporting the videos. It really does mean a lot. And I just want to say quickly before I end the video that I do play on a higher sensitivity, so if you are someone that plays on lower sensitivity, don't feel like you need to switch to a higher sensitivity. All of the CDL pros, all of the Warzone pros play on a low sensitivity, much lower than mine, and I'm not a professional Warzone or Call of Duty player. So I am really good at the game. I'm not a professional, and playing on lower sensitivity will always result in stickier aim assist and more consistent aim. I've just been playing on a high sensitivity for so long that I am too far gone, and I just love the higher senses. And I think this is a perfect middle ground between slow and still having that snappiness. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video, man. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.